It's my greatest pleasure to see you return alive.
What was that?
Not interested, I suppose.
What?
What's up, you guys? This is One Classic Gamer here. Welcome you to part 6 of Resident Evil 8 Village of Shadows. I say I didn't even I need to take the time to actually pronounce these words and these titles sometimes, man. Anyways, I have a bit of a confession to make with this part. I had no idea how I actually got through this section until I watched this video and edited all this together. And basically, I mean, to give you guys some context, I restarted the last few hours of this game from the boss battle in the last video. I restarted that save several times because I kept getting to the end of this game and just could not beat the final boss for the life of me. So in my successful run, I legit forgot about this, but in my successful run of Heisenberg's Factory, which is what we're going to be doing in today's video, I pretty much just broke the shit out of this section by going through the entire section using the infinite grenade launcher ammo. So yeah, I'm not really going to be doing this part the authentic way. I'm going to be cheating my way through the entire thing just because I wanted to, scrounge up as much ammo and resources as I could, because that final boss, I'm telling you guys right now, is no joke at all. And the Heisenberg boss fight is really tough, and the Drillhead boss fight guy is really tough too. So I'm going to place this altar, and there's going to be a bunch of cutscenes coming up, and I will be back very shortly.
Don't worry about the kid, Ethan. It'll be fine. Ha! Just get your ass across the bridge. Ah! Ethan Winters. Welcome. I didn't think you'd make it past Donna Moreau, but I suppose you survived worse back in America, hmm? I like you. I'd like to speak to you about Rose and Miranda. Oh, come on in. Don't worry. It's not a trap.
What are you planning? What the hell? Mia?
Truth hurts, don't it? Let me guess. You're thinking, take me out like the others, and then he gets to go and save Rose, right?
I'm healing my daughter.
Look, you got this all wrong. Let me talk. Shut your fucking hole! I'm sorry about that. Take a seat. Listen, Ethan, you're being played.
What are you talking about? You think this is a game?
I said sit! Lady, supersized bitch. Ugly ass psycho doll. An embryonic freak. Don't you get it? It's a test to see if you're strong enough to be a part of Miranda's family.
I don't want to be a part of Miranda's family.
Neither did I, but here we are. And I'm next in line, right? Kill me, move up the chain. Well, fuck that!
I don't give a damn about your personal issues. I just want to fix my daughter.
So do I. Do you have any idea how powerful that kid is? Even Miranda's scared of her. Last time, you freak, I swear to God! You and me, Ethan. Together, we can go save Rose, and we can use her to grind Miranda into paste.
My daughter is not a weapon. Fuck you!
Last chance. You don't want to find out what's in that hole.
I'll take my chances.
You're furious.
Damn it!
So for this section right here, make sure you have the flash grenades equipped on the grenade launcher. And there's only a few enemies that you have to avoid here. Mainly this guy at the end of the hallway here.
Damn What was that thing?
And now we're on to the rest of the factory. So yeah, let's do this. This is a long section, probably the second longest section in the game. I mean, it's not as long as the castle, for instance, but it's still fairly lengthy, and there doesn't appear to be any more cutscenes for the rest of this video. So the rest of this video is just going to be me talking, basically. So yeah, welcome to Heisenberg's factory. Honestly, normally in any other circumstance, I'd be kind of upset and pissed off at myself for abusing the infinite ammo here, but I was dying on this stretch of the game so much that I kind of reached my breaking point. In fact, I uploaded a video. I don't know when I uploaded it, but it was like back in August, September of last year, when I was like struggling to beat Mother Miranda. I uploaded like a quick 30-second video, and this is like a true story. Like, I was dying so much on the Mother Miranda fight, and I had to replay this section, this video, this section that we're doing here, so many times, just to see if I could, come out the other side with more ammo, that I just got so tired and I literally uninstalled the game. And I rage quitted this game. Yeah, there was a point in time where I rage quitted this game, and it straight up just was not going to happen. Like, I wasn't going to upload any videos for this game. But of course I sacked up after a certain amount of time, and I was able to beat this section of the game. The overall this last like hour and a half to 2 hours of the game is easily the hardest part in the entire game, in my opinion. There is so much shit that is like thrown at you in this section, and you can try to do it with, you know, the ammo and weapons that you have, but I'm telling you guys right now, you're gonna go through a ton of ammo doing this part because they throw so much shit at you. So if you're using a bonus weapon, I honestly don't blame you, because that's, you know, as you guys are going to see in this video, exactly what I did. Get ready to listen to the sound of me firing the grenade launcher and reloading it, because I pretty much do that over and over and over again throughout this entire video. I'm using the grenade launcher for everything here. So, I mean, it helped out. It paid off in the end, because I was able to make it to the end of the game and, you know, beat it in this run. There are a few things I didn't show, because at this point in the playthrough, like, I was starting to run out of hard drive space, so I had to be very, very smart about my recording sessions, making sure that, you know, I'm not wasting any time and I'm getting through it as quickly as possible so that I could export the recording sessions, or else I just wouldn't have had enough space on my computer here. But, you know, I made it in the end. I don't know how many times I had to reload this part of the game. I must have reloaded it, like, I don't know, like 5, 10, 15 times. Honestly, replaying the last hour and a half of this game several times to try and get a slightly better run where I had more resources and I could have a better chance against Mother Miranda, because Mother Miranda really is the hardest boss fight in the entire game. Like, they saved the hardest boss for last. She freaking sucks. I just got so frustrated fighting her at a certain point, and, you know, I wasn't recording live commentary for the game at this point, so I didn't really have any, you know, actual fails or, you know, live commentary for you guys with, you know, this section of the game. But still, you know, I reached my breaking point and was just like, you know what, fuck it, I'm not gonna deal with this anymore. I'm just gonna do it this way, you know. And I mean, the grenade launcher is a good weapon, you know, to use. It's probably one of the weakest weapons in the game, though. You know, a lot of these enemies, as you can see, take so many shots to kill, and their attacks are just so freaking fatal that if even one of them, you know, connects with you and you know, hits you, you have to restart the entire section because you're pretty much dead. You know, not to mention all of the drill enemies, the drill boss that's going to be chasing us throughout this section. He doesn't chase us as much as Lady D does, for example, during the castle section. I definitely think, you know, there's only like a few scripted sections here, but these guys right here, these Soldat soldiers, they throw a ton of these guys at you here. So, you know, I've been doing most of this playthrough the authentic way, but this is really the only, I think, like, stretch of the playthrough where I cheated. You know, I straight up was just like, fuck it, I can't deal with this anymore. I want to beat this game already, because I had spent, you know, weeks working on it, you know, trying to get through this game. I didn't spend as much time, I think, on this game as I did with RE4 Remake. Like, that game honestly felt like an entire, like, full-time, like, second job, man. When I was playing through that game on Professional, I had to push myself to get through that game because, one, that game is a lot longer than Village, you know, but also it just has so many harder sections. But I'm not discounting Village either, because I've said it before and I'll say it again. You know, it's a tradition now. I always say it at least once in these videos, but this difficulty really is hard, man. It fucking sucks. And I don't think I'm ever going to replay this game again on this difficulty if I ever do replay it in the future. I probably will play the game on, like, hardcore, but Village of Shadows, no. No, I'm not doing that. I mean, there are certain games that I've played so many times on the hardest difficulty, like The Last of Us, for example. I know I bring those two games up a bunch, but you know, I played those games a decent amount, so I actually enjoy playing the Last of Us games on Grounded because I'm like pretty like good at those games now. I mean, I'm more good at the second game than I am at the first game because there's a lot more like stealth mechanics in the second game. Like you can go prone in the grass and dive to get out of the way of like enemy fire and stuff, and you just don't have those luxuries in the first game, unfortunately. So the first game's a lot harder. I've only beaten the first game once on Grounded difficulty, but games like The Last of Us, like Alien Isolation, those are games that I enjoy playing on the hardest difficulty. This game, like, no, man, just no. I can't. I can't ever do it again. I don't think I could ever do it again because, you know, there's just so many parts that are just BS, like bullshit in this game if you're not using bonus weapons. So yeah, hopefully, you know, you guys don't mind me abusing the shit out of this weapon. I legit thought this was going to be like an authentic run of me going through, you know, this section of the game, doing everything like, you know, the genuine way, but it doesn't appear to have turned out that way, at least in, you know, this run, which was my successful attempt. I think I do also use infinite ammo for, what's it called, Chris Redfield, the Chris Redfield section, because that part is also pretty tough on Village of Shadows. Remember, the thing you gotta keep in mind, like, the main thing that makes Village of Shadows harder than hardcore is the fact that the enemies are a lot spongier. They take a lot more damage to kill. They do a lot more damage, and yeah, you go through resources a lot faster. So that's really what makes Village of Shadows harder than any of the other difficulties in this game. So yeah, we're putting the relief mold in now, and we can chillax for a little bit because nothing is going to happen to us. We've pretty much cleared out the area. I don't know what I was missing here in this room, but I was obviously missing something. It may have been like a crystal fragment or something like that, but you guys are going to see me fully explore Heisenberg's factory in this video. I didn't fully explore it when I played through it the first time. I kind of, you know, skipped out on a couple of areas and like secret rooms and stuff because, I don't know, I just wasn't really into exploring as much. Be careful here because as soon as you come around the corner, there's going to be a guy here, and I got hit by him. I think the regular enemies take like 3 grenade launcher shots to kill, and that's it. You know, the drill guys like take around like 4 to 5 direct hits. You know, if you're not using the grenade launcher, I would recommend using the sniper rifle or the shotgun and just, you know, baiting them into attacks, and then as soon as they expose their weak point, you know, shoot them in the weak point, basically. And sometimes they'll stagger back and it'll stun them for a bit. You're not always going to be that lucky, though. Most of the time, this difficulty, if it's your first time playing it, this difficulty finds all sorts of ways to screw you over. So, yeah, I mean, only crazy people like me really attempt these challenges, I feel. I mean, there are plenty of other YouTubers that have played this game on this difficulty way before me, like back when the game came out, and, you know, they did Mercenaries as well on, you know, the difficulties and got all the trophies for those without, you know, all of the DLC stuff, which is pretty much what I used to help me get through Mercenaries because, yeah, I did get the Platinum Trophy for this game in the end. I didn't do all the challenges, but I pretty much got all the trophies, played through the game several times, did Mercenaries and the Shadows of Rose DLC, and, what's it called? Mercenaries has a trophy that is really freaking just annoying and tedious and so hard, dude. Like, I do not enjoy Mercenaries at all in this game. I don't really think anyone does. Not many people enjoy Mercenaries in this game because it's just like, it's not fun. Like, it's tedious and it's way too challenging. I mean, maybe I just haven't played Mercenaries that much. The only other Mercenaries game I can remember playing was like one of the Mercenaries modes that came out on, I think, the 3DS. I think it was Resident Evil Mercenaries 3D. Literally, that's the only other Mercenaries mode that I've played. So maybe Mercenaries just isn't my thing. I'm not really a fan of roguelikes at all in extra modes where you have to do these really hard challenges, But like I said, I did this, last year when all the DLC is pretty much out. It's been out like for a long ass time, so I kind of got to do it, the easier way with all the DLC content, which made it much easier to get through. So, yeah. There is a level in Mercenaries that takes place here in the factory, and it is probably the most annoying section in the game to get like the S rank on for Mercenaries, like, because I think the trophy involves you getting like all S ranks in every single Mercenaries level, and some of them are easier than others, but this area here, the Heisenberg's factory setting in particular, really sucks on Mercenaries. I'm just letting you guys know right now. But yeah, we're progressing through the first section here pretty slowly. There's not much for me to talk about. I mean, as long as you just look at, what I'm doing and, copy what I'm doing, then you can get through this just fine. Now that I think about it, I think the way I was able to fully upgrade the grenade launcher was by playing, like, pretty much lasting all the way till the, like, last, like, save station of the game. The last spot where you talk to the Duke right before Mother Miranda's fight. I think I played all the way up until that point, and then what I did was I sold him literally everything I had, all my weapons, everything, and I fully upgraded the grenade launcher just so that I could unlock the challenge, and then I reloaded the save right before the boss fight in the stronghold and pretty much just replayed that section again, and that's how I was able to get the infinite grenade launcher ammo. So I know that's not really helpful for you guys because, you have to play through hours just to get to the end of the game to do that. But I only did that because I, restarted this last section of the game many times and I was able to do it. So here we're looking for... I forgot what we're looking for here. We're trying to turn the power on, I think. No, we're looking for a piece to put there in that machine that's going to, like, activate it and whatnot. As you can see, nothing is really happening right now. There's no enemies or anything. They are going to, come to life very soon, though, so be ready for that. But, yeah, I don't really know what to say, man. Jeez. Every time I sit down and do one of these videos, it's torture, dude. I swear. Every time you open one of these doors, I'd always recommend getting the grenade launcher out and checking your corners because you never know if there's going to be like an enemy on the other side of the door. So just something to consider there. And there's a note there that I missed out on. It's going to be a little bit trickier for me to edit my trophy video because I was, trying to save storage space and I deleted my first attempt going through this section of the game. There are a couple of clips that I don't have anymore where one, I got the final, I got two of the last two goat statues. And then I did another trophy. I forgot what the other trophy was. I think it was for, shit, why am I blanking out, man? I literally cannot remember what the other trophy was. It was something during this section of the game. As soon as you enter into this section of the game, like after the drill head, chase at the beginning of this video when Heisenberg kicks you down the hole and you like climb up the ladder and go climb out the hatch, and you like see the factory for the first time. If you shoot one of the soldats, like, you know, that's just like hanging on the assembly line, you'll get a trophy for that as well. So yeah, now we have the large cog. We can put it in the machine, and as soon as we start this machine and go down here, there's going to be another like drill enemy. So yeah, I mean, at this point, I hope you guys can look at how many enemies the game has already thrown at me and just be like, okay, yeah, I get why you just decided, fuck it, I'm just going to use the grenade launcher for this, because they throw a ton at, like, this might be the most difficult part, I would say, of the game when it comes to the enemies and how many of them they throw at you. Like, just the quantity of enemies they throw at you is insane. It's absolutely insane, and there's plenty of good stuff for you to pick up here and plenty of looting for you to do, and doing that when you have these guys on your ass 24/7 is just not fun. And video games are supposed to be fun, okay? I just don't think playing the game that way is very fun. We almost got another glimpse at Ethan's face there, which is crazy. I wonder what Ethan looks like, man. You know what? I need to look it up. I still haven't done it. I think I probably did at some point, but I've already forgotten what Ethan's face looks like, you know, because, I don't know, it wasn't that memorable. Ethan's not really a memorable character, in my opinion. I would literally rather play as anyone else besides Ethan. I'd play as fucking Ada Wong, bro, before I played as Ethan. Of course, why am I even comparing the two of them? Ada Wong is a classic Resident Evil character. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, I think you can look up Ethan's face, actually. If you are genuinely curious as to what he looks like, you can see what his face looks like. Because, you know, you have those channels that do, like, those, like, I don't think mods are like the right word. They do that weird, I'll just call it a mod, where they're able to like go past like certain boundaries in the game that most players can't get past, just to see like what's there in the engine, like on the other side of like this wall, for example. What does it look like when you venture outside of the map and whatnot? So I'm pretty sure people have seen Ethan's face. Maybe he doesn't even have a face, honestly. That would be kind of crazy. Because I feel like most of this game, you know, the fact that they made it in first person and the third person mode was just kind of like an extra mode that came out, you know, when the Shadows of Rose DLC came out. You know, because of that, they programmed like some of his face, but the reason why you can't whip the camera around and see his entire face is because he just probably doesn't have a face. Then again, I don't know. Do I really care that much? Not really. I'm just talking and trying to fill up the space here because I still got another 38 minutes that I gotta talk for in this freaking video. They do have the, you know, I guess this is somewhat of a spoiler since we haven't really gotten there yet to Shadows of Rose. They did have an opportunity to show Ethan's face to us in the Shadows of Rose DLC, and it would have been like the perfect time to finally show us what Ethan looks like. But they just didn't do it. They kept hiding him for some reason, like he's Master Chief or something. So there are a ton of enemies here. There's like 3 or 4 of them. But as long as you use the grenade launcher, you will be totally A-okay here. So yeah, just keep doing that. I hope you guys aren't bored yet. I'm bored. I was honestly bored like the second this video started, bro. But I'm sitting here out of obligation, you know, and commitment to getting this done. I mean, this is the second to last video, man. The next video will be more exciting. I guarantee that. Because the next video is pretty much going to start off with the drill head boss fight, and then we're going to go from that into the Heisenberg fight, and then from the Heisenberg fight into the Chris Redfield section, and then the Chris Redfield section into the final boss, which, as much as I hated the final boss, one thing I enjoy about, sticking with these games and getting them, like, beating them on the hardest difficulty is, like, going back and watching my successful attempt and just being like, yeah, I fucking did that. I owned this part of the game. And, yeah, I mean, it's quite a sight to behold watching me beat Mother Miranda on this difficulty, man. I completely destroyed her. I had to pick up a few tactics here and there and strats from other YouTubers, like Aether, for example. I was watching him quite a bit while I was playing through this game, and Resident Evil 4, because that guy, I think, still to this day will release like whole ass, like, long, kind of like my like Call of Duty campaign videos. He'll release the entire story mode with the cutscenes and everything in one single video, one single run, and he will play through the entire game on the hardest difficulty, clear out every single room, upgrade everything, collect all of the collectibles, read all, look at all the logs, and he'll do it all without taking damage, which I just could never do that. The amount of, like, dedication and practice you would need to have to, like, pull something like that off is just insane, bro. Like, it would drive me crazy getting all the way to, like, having a perfect run and then getting all the way to, like, the end of the game, like this section, for example, and taking, like, a BS hit, and having to start the whole run over. Like, nope. Been there, done that, man. I've done permadeath challenges before, and yeah, I don't really want to re-experience that again. I mean, I probably will do a permadeath challenge again at some point. I really have been wanting to permadeath the Last of Us games for like the longest time. In fact, on my channel, on my live feed, I already have plenty of live streams of me trying to permadeath Last of Us Part 2. I have tried to permadeath Part 1 as well, but, permadeathing the Last of Us games is actually really freaking hard because, I don't know, you just have to be very familiar. Like, you have to know each encounter inside and out because they're a lot more, like, combat-based and combat-focused than the other games that I have permadeath before, like Alien Isolation and Dead Space 3. The only reason I was able to permadeath Dead Space 3 is because in that game you can pretty much craft whatever weapon build you want. And if you look up some of the best weapon builds online, you can craft like these weapons in Dead Space 3 that will like literally just take you through the entire game. Of course, it takes a few hours to acquire the parts to craft the weapon, but like it doesn't change the fact that the weapon is just so fucking broken that you're pretty much just like breaking the whole game and like cheating your way through the game. Some people may not view it as cheating. Other people, may just look at it as like, oh, you do what you need to do to get it done. But me, I don't view it that way. I always like to try to like beat these games like the authentic, genuine way. And I sound like a douchebag for some reason. I'm just kidding. No, I don't. What am I saying, man? So I'm taking this opportunity to fully upgrade the Wolf's Bane, the Magnum. Honestly, probably like the best weapon in the game, to be honest with you guys. This weapon fucking is just disgusting. Even on this difficulty, like when you upgrade it, like it does some serious damage. There's a wooden goat here in the elevator section. You won't be able to get it yet, but basically, what's it called? I'm going to show it in my trophy video, but once you make it to the 3rd floor and you call the elevator up, if you take the elevator from the 3rd floor down to the 2nd floor, you can pretty much catch the wooden goat as you're going down, and it's really honestly kind of annoying to like hit it because it like it's only on the screen for a short amount of time. It's probably the most annoying wooden goat to like actually hit in the game, in my opinion. And when I said earlier, for one of the trophies, you have to shoot the soldats, I mean the soldats that are hanging in the assembly line in the background here. As long as you pull your sniper rifle out and just shoot one of them, you'll get a trophy for it. Again, I'm going to go over it in my trophy video, and I'm going to show you guys me actually, you know, doing it, but still. There are enemies here in this section, quite a bit actually. These guys in the beginning here, like, don't really want anything to do with you because they're pretty much just focusing on their work, which is like mining for like crystal fragments and stuff. I was waiting here because I heard the other enemies and I thought they were gonna like follow me around the corner here, but they didn't. Like I said, they're more focused on, you know, their actual jobs. They're like, man, if I just keep doing this, maybe Heisenberg will let me go. It's like, no, bro. Heisenberg has you completely, man. Like, completely. Why am I talking like The Grudge? Oh my god, dude, jeez. The last time I felt this uncomfortable was in that one Metroid Prime video I did where I had to commentate for, like, post-narrate for the entire thing. Jeez, man. So, yeah, we got another birdcage here. I tried grabbing this ammo, but I didn't have enough. It didn't really bother me, though, because it's only, like, 2 bullets. Pretty soon I'm going to get rid of all of the grenade launcher ammo that I have in my inventory and all of the meat that I have in my inventory too. I really hope that I didn't get all of the recipes as well and cut that out, you know, by deleting the recording sessions. Like I said, you guys, I was just so committed to beating this game, but also like focused on saving computer space that I deleted a bunch of footage that I should have kept, but I didn't. Still, it doesn't matter. We got 3 enemies here in this section, but they're not that bad at all because we're just going to do what we've been doing this entire time. We're just going to use the freaking grenade launcher on them. We're just going to Jill Valentine our way through this shit, basically. I wish the grenade launcher had more ammo, dude. Like, it had, like, a more ammo capacity instead of it being like, shoot, reload, shoot, reload, shoot, reload. It just kind of sucks, if you ask me. I think there's a crystal fragment that... Actually, no, I already got it. So, yeah, this second area here is nowhere near as long as the first section, but, it, you know, as you guys can recall, we are going to have to backtrack in order to create the Heisenberg key mold, which that also isn't really that bad, but, you know, it's the one section where they throw the most fucking guys at us, like the most heavy guys at us in a short amount of time, which is super irritating and not fun. As soon as you get into this room, aim up with the pistol, shoot these 2 spots right here. The enemies are not going to, like, aggro or start coming after us until we make our way up the stairs and get to, like, the second catwalk. That's when the guys are going to jump down. And I like to use the flash grenade ammo on the grenade launcher here. This is when I actually start to get rid of all my raw meat, like discard all of it, basically. And all of the grenade launcher ammo that I have because I don't need it. You know, I've got the infinite grenade launcher ammo. So, yeah. Actually, I don't think I'm discarding it yet, but yeah. We shoot that. And now we are going to make our way up here. Make sure you have the flash ammo equipped. Again, you can grab that rusted scrap if you're quick enough. And just keep running here. The first time one of them jumps in front of you is going to be up here. You're going to have to shoot them with the flash grenade, but when you shoot these guys with the flash grenade, they literally are stunned for like such a long time that you'll have plenty of time to like get to this ladder here. There are 2 of these guys though, and the other one jumped up here, but I was quicker than him and I was able to basically get up the ladder before he did any damage to me, so I was incredibly lucky. And now we're up at the top. There is another crate here, and this is when I'm going to get rid of all of my grenade launcher ammo, I believe. Yep. So discard all of this because you don't need it if you're following me along still. And as you can see, we're pretty well stocked now at this point. So I crafted another health kit here. We've got a ton of mines and pipe bombs. Trust me, we're going to need them. We are going to need them. So yeah, up here, up these stairs, there's a little section you can crawl through, and there's like resources in there that we're going to be getting as well. I crafted another health drink here and used the one that I had. We got the upper levels map, and this is the section that you can crawl through here, but you have to push this cart out of the way first. I think there's just like mostly like pistol ammo back here. I can't really recall, to be honest, even though I just fucking like edited this video. Oh yeah, the mold is here. We need this, the ball mold. We're gonna need as much lay as we can get also during these last, few sections of the game, because the weapons that I focused on using the most, I believe, was the Magnum and the sniper rifle for the fight against Mother Miranda, as well as the pipe bombs and like mines and stuff. Make sure you shoot this fan in the center here, and we got the thumbnail of the video here. Yeah, you're welcome. I really like this moment a lot. I like how the camera like whips around here and you actually see the fan like fly, like out of there. That was I don't think it was like that in first person. Like you just basically saw the fan like fly at you, and that was like the rest of like the set piece. But I like that they added that in there, how the camera like whips around and stuff. So there's not much for us to do here in this section, so we're just going to keep going forward, and at a certain point, Heisenberg is going to start talking shit again. I mean, he's been talking shit to us for this entire freaking factory section, but, it is what it is. He's definitely the most talkative character, villain, out of all of the villains that you face in this game. I don't know, I think Heisenberg is like the most interesting because he gives me like kind of like Baker vibes, like the Bakers from RE7, how some of them, like they didn't mean to be they didn't really, the thing is like what am I trying to say, like the way they acted, they didn't mean it. They were the way they were because they were infected by the mold. And it's the same thing with Heisenberg. Like he said at the beginning of this freaking video, like he didn't want to be a part of Miranda's family, and now he's trying to work with Ethan, so, there's a little bit there where you can kind of relate with Heisenberg in a sense, but, I don't know, he's just still kind of like a silly, goofy character, but still his powers are just like freaking sick. It's just awesome. He's a cool character, and I think this is a pretty awesome final section of the game, if you're not playing it on this difficulty. So I don't know why I still have the Samurai's Edge, man. Like I need to get rid of that thing because I haven't been using that like at all. So, yeah, now we're up in the upper levels here. There's another section here that I'm going to show off to you guys that I don't think I showed this off when I was playing the game the first time because I never found it. But basically, this is where the third button is for the elevator. So we're going to pull this switch to call the old Duke up to us. And there's a crate here with an herb. And there's also a spot here where you can drop down, as you can see, and you can basically, run up here, and there's supplies for you up here. So definitely come this way. I got a bunch of shotgun ammo there, as you can tell, and a ton of mines. And when you zip line here, there's a lot of crystals here, like yellow quartz and crystal fragments and stuff. Actually, there's just one by the looks of it. Never mind. But yeah, it's a cool little like side path that I never showed because I never found it or discovered it. But now we're backtracking again to the first area to, you know, put the molds again in the casting machine. And I think, yeah, I'm going to talk to him again and upgrade some stuff. Well, first we're going to sell stuff. And I mean, another reason why I recommend using the infinite launcher is because every single time these like drill enemies, these soldat enemies explode, as you can tell, they always drop like these really expensive like crystals and stuff that you can then sell for a ton of like lei. So I chose to upgrade the sniper here. That's one thing I would prioritize upgrading because we're going to be using it in a little bit, basically, for, you know, the rest of the game. So we're going to take the elevator down to the 4th floor here, and it's time for the final section. We also do the ball puzzle maze thing too, which I also didn't do that in my first run, I don't think. Maybe I did. I don't know. I can't. I'm already forgetting, you know, like this is, you know, for my first run, this is like finale territory here now that we're entering into. And the finale of my hardcore run, I edited that video like months ago and just recently uploaded it. So, you know, I'm drawing a blank on all this stuff. But, you know, luckily for you guys, you know, and for me, I made it through this section a lot faster in my successful attempt this time around because I already knew what was coming, and I've played this part of the game several times now, so I have the practice, and it didn't take me nearly as much time to get through it. So you're not going to see any like excessive editing in the next video, like in the finale, like there was in the finale for my hardcore run. I only did that because I was trying to fit it into a certain runtime so that my computer could export the whole thing. But yeah, we got one guy here. Once we take care of this guy, we don't have to worry about any more enemies for a little bit. So we're going to go to the casting machine and we're going to put the molds in. I'm going to start off with the key mold here. And there are two spots that we can go to here that we're going to be exploring once we finish up these molds. One of them is like a room that you can put the Heisenberg key in to get supplies and stuff. The ball, actually, I think. No, actually, we're putting the ball mold in here. And the other one, you know, is another room that gives you like resources and stuff. But yeah, we're just going to put the two molds in, and like I said, you don't have to really worry about getting attacked here by anyone because, you know, all the enemies are pretty much done for now. So once this mold is done, the first area I'm gonna go to is up these stairs here to this little side room that we couldn't come to before because the power wasn't on. You could actually come here a lot sooner, I think. Pretty much as soon as you put the gear in like the machine and you like switch the power on, you can come in here. And there's a drill guy that's gonna bust out of here, and yeah, that's pretty much the only, actually no, that's not the only purpose. I know why we came here. So the reason why I came here is because in this little back room where this guy came from, there is another weapon part that we can equip, and it's for the Magnum, and I believe it increases the firepower and damage of the Magnum for us. So yeah, it's definitely going to be very helpful. So, you know, there's also like a little like medical log here that, you know, you can listen to, but I'm not listening to it. And as you can tell, my inventory is starting to just get super, super packed. Excuse me. So we're going to equip this part. And now we're going to make our way into the Heisenberg key room that is pretty much in the opposite direction. We got some lockpicks here. I don't really think the lockpicks are needed because I don't come across any other like areas where we need to use the lockpick. Maybe I do in the next part. I don't remember. Because there is a little bit of like exploring that you do in between the drill head boss and Heisenberg, but I don't know. Just use Heisenberg's key here. As soon as you get into this room, though, there are like 4 regular enemies, like 3 to 4 regular enemies. So just make sure you're ready with the grenade launcher. Don't rush into this room. This room is a lot more annoying, obviously, if you're, doing it without the grenade launcher. But I guess if I could give you guys, the best advice possible for this, always make sure you're guarding, pushing the enemies back. Always make sure with these guys, you have to like do a little bit of extra damage. You have to straight up just like shoot those like helmets off of their heads first before you can actually start doing like serious damage to them. So shoot those things off with like the pistol as soon as it comes off, guard, push the enemy back, and then get like the sniper rifle out and like shoot them in the head, and aim for the head always, because the head obviously does more damage. So that was my dog right now a second ago, if you heard him. So, yeah, we're pretty much done with this now. We're pretty much through this section. Geez, felt like an eternity, but it wasn't that bad. I'm just hoping that... No, I'm not even going to say it, because I don't want to I don't want to jinx myself, honestly. So, when you get to the top, like when you get to the end of this area here... there's going to be a really tough enemy here, and if you use the grenade launcher ammo, you can like blast off all of his armor, but these guys are a lot tougher. So I would recommend just alternating back and forth between the flash grenade ammo and the actual grenade launcher ammo, because by doing that and stunning these guys, these guys are pretty much acclimated to being in the dark. So, if you shoot them with the flash grenade, it's going to stun them for a long time and give you plenty of shots here, as you can see. Like, he is, like, stun locked for, at least, like, 10 seconds here. Like, a very long time. Is it 10 seconds? No, like 8 seconds he's, like, stunned for. But he's pretty much almost done, so just, like I said, keep alternating back and forth between the grenade launcher ammo and the flash ammo. If he gets too close to you, shoot him with the flash grenade, and that'll stun him for enough time, allowing you to just unload on him with grenade launcher ammo. So that's that guy, and we have one more Soldat enemy that we're going to run into that's going to be put in our path. There are 2 separate ways you can get through this section and back to the Duke, and the only way is either this way or across that, area where we like pulled the lever and it brought the platform down, and that other area, you guys know what I'm talking about. I'm not gonna even go any further with my descriptions here. Getting past this guy is kind of annoying because he's literally right in your way, so it's just not fun. I guess you could try to like bait him and like run around him, basically, if you wanted to do it the authentic way. The way I would do it is I would just wait for him to get through the hallway, guard, and then basically like kick him if I can, and then run around him basically to get by him. But yeah, these guys are stupidly, annoyingly, really, really spongy, man. It's ridiculous how spongy these freaking guys are. But this guy's almost dead. I'm just, alternating back and forth between the ammo, as you can tell. If you can, hit the actual, like, spot, like the weak spot on these guys. And, yeah, this is just a hard room. The way I would do it, actually, if you were doing this section the authentic way, I would still use the grenade launcher, but I would wait until he's in that room, and then I would flash him with the flash grenade and then run right by him. It's not smart to actually engage with most of the enemies in this section because you want to save your ammo. Remember, we have 3 boss battles coming up, a 4th one as Chris Redfield. So there's a lot of fighting coming up, and you need everything you can get. Trust me. So yeah, this is the hardest ball puzzle maze in the game, I think. I can't remember if you actually get a trophy for doing all of these. That's another thing I'm gonna have to look into. This is the most annoying section right here. I almost messed this up, but I just kept tilting it, you know, a certain way so that the ball didn't fall off. Yeah, once we're done with this, I believe that's going to be the end of the video. We're going to head up to the 3rd level, and I'm going to stop the video right before we get to the drill head like boss. I don't know what the guy's name actually is, but I just call him the drill head guy. So yeah, we're not going to stop at the Dukes because I think we've pretty much, you know, bought everything we can from him for now. So yeah, just once you get the ball through here, you're pretty much done with the ball puzzle maze, and yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the rest of this video. So I'm just going to conclude the commentary now. If you guys enjoyed this video, please comment, rate, subscribe, share it with your friends. I'd greatly appreciate it. Next up, we have the finale of this insane run of the game, so I hope you guys are looking forward to that. I've got plenty of tips and strats for you, so I will see you guys next time on part 7. Peace.